Hey guys, this is Warhawk Beyond 2040 and welcome to another edition of the Supergirl Season 5 review series. And today I'm going to be talking about episode 17, Deus Lex Machina. And as I said at the end of the last video, this is an episode that I am very much looking forward to talking about. And this was one of my friend's favourite episodes, so this is kind of like a double treat for me, because not only am I getting to talk about one of the best episodes, in my opinion, of Season 5, but this was also one of my good friend's favourites as well, so how good is that? Doesn't get any better than that. Now, what makes this episode very special, for a number of reasons, probably about the same level as the 100th episode of Supergirl for this season, is for two reasons. The first reason is this was the directorial debut of Melissa Benoist, who, as we all know, plays Supergirl. So she directed this episode, and I have to say they should let her direct more episodes in future seasons. She done an excellent job with this one. I thought for her first day on the job, she really knocked this one right out of the park. And also, second reason why this episode was so good is, of course, the performance of Jon Cryer, who plays Lex Luthor on the show. Now, as I've said, going all the way back to the Season 4 review that I did for Supergirl, when Jon Cryer was announced that he was casted to play Lex Luthor, I was absolutely terrified. I thought his portrayal was going to be absolutely wacky, stupid, and I thought we was going to get something like what we saw in Dawn of Justice with Jesse Eisenberg, but worse. Thankfully, that didn't happen. Jon Cryer walked in and kicked complete ass from start to finish. His portrayal of Lex Luthor, in my opinion, is very close to the comic books, especially his appearance. I mean, I said to my friend that his Lex Luthor reminds me a lot of the design Alex Ross did for Lex Luthor. It's very, very similar sort of look and appearance. And yeah, he's just absolutely fantastic as Lex Luthor. And as I said, he was one of the best things that I loved about Season 4, even though he only appeared in 3 episodes, but he made such a huge impact. And the good thing about Season 5 is it looks like he's been signed up full time, at least for this season anyway. I'm not sure what the situation will be with Season 6, but I'm hoping they keep him around. But so far he's been in this season quite a lot, and he's been absolutely phenomenal. Now, if I have to throw a third reason for why this episode was so good, this episode was more of a spotlight episode, but this time the focus was on Lex Luthor. As I said at the end of the last video, we had a similar sort of episode back in Season 4, where we learned about what Lex Luthor was doing in Kaznia and his involvement with the Red Daughter. So we got to see him going in and out of prison, getting up to all sorts of stuff in Russia. So that was a really good episode. But this one takes things even further than that, and to a whole other level in terms of storytelling and character driven and awesome performances. This episode takes place 90 days after Crisis on Infinite Earths, and you get to learn what happened with Lex Luthor when all of the Earths were fused together due to Oliver's sacrifice. And this was a really good episode. I really enjoyed this one a lot, and I'm dedicating this to my friend, and I know he liked this one a lot, and I liked it too. So, with that all said, let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about episode 17, Deus Lex Machina. So this episode starts 90 days after Crisis on Infinite Earths at the warehouse where the Obsidian zombies were being housed, and the old Leviathan lady lies dead with Lex having killed her. All of the victims claim Lex saved them from the woman who left the video claiming to be a devotee of Amy Sapphire, the anti-tech terrorist. So after we see a brief crisis montage, Lex Luthor wakes up in his mansion on Earth Prime where he's being awarded for the Nobel Peace Prize Award, which we saw at the beginning of Part 5 in Legends of Tomorrow, and has a host of other accolades to his credit. He goes to meet with Lillian to plot the destruction of the Kryptonians, since Supergirl remembers everything also. She tells him to go make Lena his ally. Lena reveals to Lex that Eve was playing him for the Leviathan the whole time on Earth 38. He acquires information about the Earth Prime Eve and tracks her down, where she's been forced to be an assassin and spy for the Leviathan, and recruits her for his own aims. 1 month after the post-crisis, Eve gets herself on the Obsidian Platinum project and reveals the glitch information to Lex, but it turns out that the glitch was all part of Lex's plan to reverse an immortality code and destroy the Leviathan. The whole plan is to put Lex Luthor in a situation where he has to cover up the glitch and thus win the Leviathan's trust and an invitation onto their ship. He's also behind the attack on Obsidian by Amy Sapphire, which occurred 2 months after the post-crisis. As Eve falls even more and more in love with Lex and is increasingly loyal to him, he gives her a lethal dose of poison and tells her that Jeremiah Danvers is the man responsible for killing her father, so that she can go and kill him. Disgusted by Lex, Kara leaves an Obsidian event and Lena follows, offering her condolences over the loss of Jeremiah and giving Kara a book that helped her with her own grief and family issues. Lex observes this and is enraged that Lena went to Kara. He sees it as the first step to the two of them becoming friends again. It's the thing that shifts his focus away from the task at hand, back to his obsession with killing Kryptonians. Having manipulated William to suspect Lex of the zombie Obsidian users, he also manipulates Brainy to get Supergirl to go to the fortress for the Myriad to use to find the missing users, which he then uses to make Lena believe that Supergirl is interfering with her work and a no sincere. Lena goes to the fortress and Invisible Moray tags along and releases a Sun Eater. Megan shows up at the tower to help, alerted by Jean's brother who sensed something was wrong. They go after the Sun Eater. Supergirl, wearing a Lexo suit, helps and they are able to save the day. Jean figures out where the missing people are, and we look back to the very beginning of the episode. Gemma confronts Lex and reveals her true face and form. Lex tells Gemma that they now need to keep Supergirl to protect Leviathan's endgame. At home, Eve confesses her love for Lex and he reveals his entire double cross of her. He then gloats to his mother and heads to the fortress, and that's how we wrap up this episode. Very good episode. Really enjoyed the fact that a lot of the focus was on Lex Luthor and we got to see Jon Cryer at his absolute best, so to speak. And as I said, I've never really been a fan of Lex Luthor, and I'm more talking about comic books. There have been a couple of versions of Lex that I have liked, but Lex Luthor has never really been my favourite villain. My favourite portrayal of Lex Luthor was always Michael Rosenbaum's from Smallville for many, many years. And to me, he's the definitive Lex Luthor. But Jon Cryer, he's getting up there. I would say he's the second best Lex Luthor we've got so far. And he just absolutely kicked ass in this episode. And I really enjoyed it a lot. And this was a really good spotlight episode. And as I said, I'd like to see them do more things like this with other characters, because we get to really get inside their head and learn more about them and see things from their points of view. So this was a very good episode, and it's not hard to see why my friend liked this one a lot, because it was really good. Well, that just about wraps it up for this review. We are 2 more away from wrapping up this season 5 review series for good, and it's been a very enjoyable ride. Really enjoyed this season a lot, and as I've said many times over, it's really good that they're continuing to build on the momentum that they kicked off officially with season 3. So it's good to see them continue that nice pace from season 3, 4 to 5, and they're really producing some great stuff, and I hope they keep it up. So I'm going to wrap this up now, and I'm going to leave this here for you guys. What was your thoughts on the Lex-centric driven episode of season 5? Did you enjoy it? Was there anything that you didn't like? Was there any favourite moments of yours? How did you think John Crye's performance was in this episode? Did you think it was good, or do you think it could have been better? You know what to do, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts and comments down below, and I will be back next time to talk about episode 18. So until next time, take care everybody and stay safe.